Welcome in. Welcome everybody. This is Butcher and the Beard. I'm David Butcher. That's John Shanley. How's everyone doing today?
Hey, I'm from location right now. I'm getting my oil changed in my car, you dirty bastards. It's not I'm not at a rub and tug, but
Yeah.
actually getting my oil changed this morning before I have to head to work. But regular night last night, pretty much. There's a couple games tonight, but last night was the main last day before the All-Star break. Knicks got killed. They lost two more guys to injury. You know, even one of the guys in the trade, Bogdanovic, he's hurt. So,
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is. You know, like I said, we going into the All Star break unhealthy. Hopefully, we get some guys healthy and you know get better
Yeah.
in the second half. That's it. You know, and try and stay above water. I felt like if we had a healthy squad, we literally could have been a top 2 or 3 seed. Now I'm just hoping to stay in the top 6 because you don't want to get into that play-in. But until we get our guys healthy, you know, it is what it is. But it might be one of those things where we're a 6 seed or a 5 seed, but all of a sudden we're healthy going into the playoffs and they're going to make some noise. So
Yeah, for sure.
we'll see what happens. It's the NBA. I am looking forward to the All Star game weekend. It's usually a lot of fun. I'll have
Yeah.
a couple. Brunson should play, so at least I have some dog in the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, it should be interesting with the 3 point contest with Curry and the girl from the WNBA. So
Yeah, I'm ready to see that.
that should. I wonder how that's going to deserve it out. Yeah, that's going to be pretty funny. Hockey, not so much. You know, we put. My girlfriend told me we were playing, and I listened to her, and she got it wrong. They're not playing. The Islanders aren't playing the Rangers
You mean
until
lighting?
March 14th. So that's why she was confused. But
Yeah.
you know, I'm doing all this other stuff. You know, we have the podcast, I have work, we got a lot of stuff going on, and you know, it happens. I don't pay that much attention, but I won't make that mistake again. So, you know, because that's what we're supposed to do, like give
Yeah.
you guys the news, and we don't want to report it wrong. So,
Yeah, especially
you
if you're
know, we were
watching.
so right about the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes and the storyline that, you know, I kind of took a backseat to the other stuff. But now we're going full force. So,
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
it is what it is.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Yeah,
Actually,
no.
the Lightning had a big win. The
Yeah,
Lightning
they
did have
did.
a big win over the
First,
Bruins the other day
yep.
in overtime.
In
Good
overtime
shit.
shootout. Yeah, it was
So,
nice. It was a couple goals that just like happened to slip through Vasky that made it even a game. But like
yeah.
when it comes to
Well, I
overtime,
mean, Boston's a great team,
yeah,
so
they're not
they're
even
gonna
bad.
get
Yeah,
goals. But Vasilevsky is definitely back on point. You know,
yeah,
there was a couple games after the All Star break that it was like, oh, maybe he's kind of like a little rusty from the time off, but now, yeah, back on track.
yeah. As
So
soon as you did the
that's just how
shutout,
he goes. You know,
yeah,
he's probably one of the greatest ever to lace him up, and
yeah.
you know, as long as you have him, you're gonna be in contention. So
Well, that's
you
it.
know,
That's
and he's gonna be tough to beat in the playoffs. So
yeah. Just got to stay healthy.
you
Got to
know,
stay there because, like, when he's out there, like you said, he might be the best goalie to ever even lace up those fucking skates because it's just
he's one of the best
ridiculous.
ever,
Yeah,
definitely.
it's crazy, man. Like to watch him, like like and especially in like a shootout form. You know what I mean? That's when it's like,
Oh yeah,
and it's just like wow. But yeah, no, man, definitely was.
yeah.
It's nice to
Well, I
see that
mean,
they're back.
the guy's incredible.
Yeah,
I would say he's definitely top. I've seen a lot of incredible goalies in my time. He's probably the top 3.
yeah,
Him, Brodeur for the Devils, and don't get me wrong, I hated him because I hated the Devils, but the
yeah,
guy was just fucking incredible. And Dominic Hasek was probably number 1. That dude, that dude was just. He was in Buffalo, and he was just he would carry that team, and then he gets traded to Detroit, and that Detroit team was one of the best teams I've ever seen, like,
yeah,
and ever. But because he was just so dominant,
yeah,
like he made saves that like were impossible, and this was, you know, like Vasilevsky does it too.
yeah,
But like I said, today's athletes are a little bit more bigger, stronger, flexible, better. Like there's
yeah,
better technology to get them the strengths, and he didn't really necessarily have those advantages, but he was just incredible.
yeah,
Um, like for what I remember, you know, from watching hockey, but you know, as far as like success in the playoffs, only maybe Patrick Waugh has he's like the modern day Patrick Waugh.
Yeah.
He's gonna win cups. He's gonna be incredible in the playoffs, and it's just incredible to
Yeah, because
watch.
once
So
the
it's
playoffs come,
enjoy him
yeah,
for as long as he
yeah,
played.
no, we will, we will.
So
Yeah, because like when he's in the playoffs, he doesn't take days off. Like he plays every single
no,
playoff game. You know what I mean?
no,
It is crazy. Like to think that, like, oh, you think you're gonna go 4-0 in every series? Of course not. You know what I mean? So he's gonna play.
no.
It's crazy, like
Yeah.
to think, like to
And the
win.
thing about hockey and hockey's such a crazy sport, and like it takes so much energy and all this other stuff that I feel like they needs to be a little bit more days off in the postseason.
Yeah, then the one
Like
day.
they usually go every other day. They usually go
Yeah,
every other day, but I feel like in the NHL it should be like you should have like in a 7 game series, there should be at least 1 point where you have 2 days off in a row.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like you can go one off, then have 2 games off. So like
yeah,
once after the first 3 or 4 games are played, have 2 games off before
yeah,
that next game because give those guys the extra tough. Because I'll tell you what, I've watched a lot of playoff hockey in my time,
yeah,
and these guys are giving it all every single possession, and sometimes these games go into triple,
yeah.
quadruple overtimes. You
I've
know what
even
I
been
mean?
there.
And like you can see when if they have a day off and then they come back and
Yeah,
like it's not quite as crisp as it was earlier in the series, but you give them 2 days off, you have two fully healthy and ready to
yeah.
go teams. You know what I
Because
mean?
I remember.
And they need that extra rest. And like as great as the competition is, for these, you want these athletes in their prime condition in the best
Yeah,
way to be in their best. You want them to have the opportunity to be at their best. So
yeah,
scheduling always is a conflict in most sports, but in hockey, like in the playoffs, they're just so much fresher if you get 2 days off in between
yeah.
games. So
Because yeah,
not that you should have a whole series where it's 2 games in between each game. No, you could still do like 1-1-1, but like if you're like once that fourth game or that third game was, give them 2 games in between.
yeah, for sure. Because I remember the Lightning had six overtimes in one game,
Yeah,
and then they had to play a
yeah,
day
like
later. You know what I mean? That's like they almost played like 3 games in
right.
one game.
Now I know both teams have the same advantage or disadvantage,
Yeah,
but you still want the athletes at their best.
yeah,
And when they're not getting the rest, they're not at their best. So
yeah. I remember that game.
it
And
is
in
what it is.
and
But
in playoff hockey, if everyone doesn't know, like when they go to overtime, it doesn't go to the 5 minute 3-on-3 skate. It goes back to the twenty
no,
minute
oh yeah,
intermissions, and
oh yeah,
they go like so they were playing till midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning because they went to three
oh yeah,
games because they played another 3 periods
yeah,
of overtime. It's just crazy. They're like,
yeah.
what the hell? There was real intermission because right now, like I think they just changed that because I remember waiting intermission for the play. I mean, for the first, I don't remember, maybe not, I don't know, but they used to feel like it wouldn't go right to overtime. They would wait a little bit to go to overtime, then they would
Well,
play.
right. It's just like playing another full period. So they would
Yeah.
have an intermission and they play
No,
another
I'm
full
talking about
period. And
in the
guess what? If
regular
it was still
season.
tied, they could.
Yeah, I was talking about the regular season. Has
Oh,
it always been
so
like
they
right
didn't
away?
change to they used to have regular overtime, and then
Yeah,
if they would do one overtime period, and then if it ended in a tie, and that was it. You got a tie. You didn't get like a point, or
yeah,
they changed that with the shootout and all
yeah.
that other stuff, and
Yeah.
it is good for the regular season because it gets them the things going. But obviously, you don't want that in the playoffs. You don't want a
No,
playoff decided
a
by a
shootout. No,
shootout.
no,
You know
no,
what I
no.
mean? Um, it's not like soccer where yeah, that's. But the whole thing with soccer is if you didn't have that shootout, these guys would be playing for like 24 hours. Like it's just
Yes,
that's
yeah.
just how that nature of that game
Is it
is.
they're that
So.
bad, or is the goalie
But
just
anyway.
that good? You know what I mean? Like it just comes down to that, because you're like, damn, like it took a long time. It took a long time for the hockey to start getting interesting to people because, like, I guess you were
Oh
saying,
yeah.
these skaters came out and they became better because, man, I used to watch games and they were lucky they scored 1 goal the whole game. You would watch a
Yeah.
whole game and have
Yeah.
1 goal, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't watch hockey. This is 1 goal game. This is boring. But now it's like the skaters are so good and their pass movement is so great, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
like the goalie just sometimes doesn't even
Well,
know where to.
hockey's always been great, and like most
Yeah,
people, I would say, like if you just turned on a hockey game and you've never been to one live, you'd be like, yeah, whatever. And then as
yeah,
soon as you go to a live game, you're like,
yeah,
oh, I get it now. And then like once you experience it live, then you can start watching it on TV,
yeah,
like oh, because you get that passion and that energy. So,
for sure, for sure. I
and then the
recommend
intensity,
everyone go.
especially in the playoffs, man.
Yeah,
The playoff hockey, like you're sitting on the edge of a knife, you know,
yeah,
even if you don't have a team in the fight and you're just watching two really good teams go
yeah,
at it in the playoffs, it's like fun as hell to watch because you're like this can end at any second. So
yeah. I
don't
remember
get up to
going
go
to
to the
the game.
bathroom.
I went to the game. We were sitting
So
over there in the playoff versus the Rangers. Yeah, it was versus the Rangers, and Cooch like stole it
yeah,
from the middle, and then he went to the blue line by himself and scored. Man, it was so cool. I wish I had my phone out to record that, but I wasn't. You're in the game. You don't care about your phone, and they're so fast. You
yeah.
don't have no time to pull your
I
phone out
went
to record.
to I want to say it was one of the last years the Rangers made it to I think it was 2015. I actually, well, I had just moved down here, but I went back up to New York and I went to Game 7 in Madison
Oh
Square Garden
yeah.
against Washington, and the Rangers won to go to the Stanley Cup Finals, which they
Oh,
eventually lost. But I was at Game 7 in the
that's cool.
Garden, man. It was fucking crazy,
Yeah.
and I think it went to overtime. So
Oh shit.
and then the Rangers won.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
it was
tickets are
exciting as hell.
expensive
Yeah,
though,
it either
man.
went to overtime or it was like a 1-0 game.
Yeah.
And you had Alex Ovechkin on the other side, and you just don't want him to get the puck in.
No.
Like we
Not.
had you know, so it was a it was we had Henrik Lundqvist who dominated the Rangers in goal for 10 years, never won, but never won a cup, got there, but
Yeah.
you know that the team around him was never quite as good, so
Yeah.
but anyway, it looks like my car's almost done, so
Oh,
I
nice.
guess I guess we got to wrap it up for today. But we're going to have a big show on Saturday
Yep.
because we're going to have
Saturday.
Morgan talking
Yep.
NASCAR, getting ready for the Daytona 500. I'm excited about
Me
that.
too. Yep.
Uh,
We
get
guess.
his picks.
Yep.
Also, Tiger Woods returns to the golf course this weekend.
Awesome. Awesome.
Let's see if he makes the cut.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah,
I
I
hope so.
mean, whether
He.
he does or not, it's Tiger, so it's
Yeah, I
it's
love
a
when Tiger
story.
just
So
enters. And his son's probably pushing him.
yeah,
That's what's happening right now. You know what I mean? His son is
oh
probably
yeah,
getting him to the
probably.
point where he's like, "Hey, you can still play this, old man." You know what I mean? And that's what he's probably doing. And he's still playing with his son Charlie, which I hope Charlie and him get to play around like a real round, like in a tournament, like
Yeah,
style. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well,
So
we'll see.
yeah, because I.
Tiger's 48 now.
Yeah,
God, he's
I
still younger
got
than me,
yeah,
bastard.
but yeah, I can see them playing at least one because they play tournaments together, but just not not in
Oh yeah.
the Masters. You know what I mean? So hopefully that happens. That'd be
Well, I
fun.
know Tiger was hurt and he hadn't
Yeah,
played since last year, so
yeah.
he did whatever. All right, I gotta go.
All right, guys,
You
we love
guys
you.
be good.
And we'll
I'll
see you
talk to
guys.
you.
We'll
All
see you
right,
guys later.
later.
We're out.
All right.